Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so the refractive index, as we mentioned last time, is a ratio. And the formula that we use for refractive index is equal to sine I over sine R. So meaning sine angle of incidence divided by sine angle of diffraction. You need to use a calculator for this. So let's look at one example here. What is the angle of refraction? What is the angle of refraction of a beam of light that enters the surface of a lake at an angle of incidence of 45 degrees? Refractive index of water is 1.3. So we've been given refractive index, then we've been given the angle of incidence, but we are looking for the angle of refraction. So we are going to a formula. Refractive index is equal to sine I over sine R. Remember, I is the angle of incidence and R is the angle of refraction. So where there's N, refractive index, we were given in equation 1.3. So 1.3 is equal to sine 45 over R. So when you place on the calculator sine 45, it will give you this value. Okay. So now what you do is you are going to multiply this times this. You get 1.3 sine R equal to sine 45, which is this one. Then you divide both sides by 1.3, you get this one. Now, what happens is you divide, you want to remain with R, so you're going to divide both sides by sine. So you will have a sine inverse of 0.5. So this gives us an angle of 30 degrees. So this is how we handle questions when it comes to refractive index. So sometimes you may find that you are given the sine I and sine R, but you are told to find the refractive index. So you just place on the calculator sine I, then the value you get divided by sine R, meaning the angles that you get, then you get the refractive index. And so today we want to look at further and look at how do we determine the refractive index of a glass block. And so for a glass block to be determined, the refractive index, you need a pencil, you need 4 pins. Here you are able to see something there. You need 4 pins, you need a plain paper, you need a protractor, you need a glass block. And so the procedure, the way it is carried is, the first procedure is you need to trace. You need to trace the outline of the glass block on a plain paper. So what do we mean when we say tracing? This is what we mean. So you trace something like this. You'll be given a glass block, then you trace it and label it A, B, then D, C. So first procedure, trace it. Then the second procedure that we are going to do is, after tracing, you have to draw at about a quarter of a trace. Draw the normal line, and you can label it R or L. So what they're trying to say is you draw a normal line like this one. That's the second procedure. You draw a normal line and then you label it R or L. Then you are given an angle most of the time, angle of incident. So you're going to measure from the normal and the angle. Maybe the angle been given is 30 degrees. So from here, you're going to draw a line meeting this line of the angle that you've been given. Then on this line, you're going to place 2 pins. You place a pin here, then you place a pin here. And so what we are going to do next is take back the glass block that you traced on here. So you are going to get it back. So your duty is looking through the other side. You need to see these things, but you'll be seeing them from here, the other side of a glass block. Now, as they appear, the way you have to put the other pins the other side is you have placed already two pins here, pin 1, pin 2. So as you look this side, these things should appear straight as the other side. So what you are going to do is place the other two pins the other side as they appear in a straight line with these others. So you realize that it will form something like here. It makes a deflection, then it goes like that. That's something that you are going to come up with. So if that happens, you realize that you are going to form an angle of incidence, an angle of deflection here. The same will happen here. So this line will go this other side. When leaving this line becomes the angle of the incident ray, then this one becomes the reflected ray. That's what happens. And these are the procedures that you need to take when you're determining the refractive index of a glass block. Thank you for watching.